Hola, everybody. So I'm in a break until 3 o'clock when I'm going to go over across the street and see my friend. But I just keep thinking about like this tour that I just did and everything. And so Safe in Baja is always like a creative process. It's not like I have a plan. It's very universe driven and very like responsive driven, not reactive, responsive. So one of the things that Leslie said to me was like, oh, it's kind of like once you get here, then what do you do, right? So Safe in Baja is not about telling people how to get here, how to do immigration, how to move your shit. That's not really what the purpose of the group is, although obviously I have the referrals for that. That's what the referrals are for. I don't do the thing, but here are the people that do the thing. Go talk to the people that do the thing. Not ask the same questions over and over and over again on the expat Facebook pages. This is one of the things that drove me nutso. And I keep repeating this to people, but I don't put it on video. So, like, people go on the expat pages and ask about immigration. No, here's the immigration person. H&H Consultadores. Yes, also Ride Baja Mexican Insurance refers to them. Our referral is Ride Baja Mexican Insurance, right? You see how that works. I don't do the insurance. Here's the people that do the insurance. I don't do the immigration. Here's the people that do the immigration. Don't ask these legal questions. Nobody does, because I think everybody kind of knows, but the other pages, like, and then people give legal advice based on their own personal experience. This is totally inappropriate and unethical. You are not an immigration lawyer, and I come from a legal background like 30 years, so I think this is part of why it drives me crazy. Stop giving legal advice on Facebook pages for expats. It's not appropriate. And I know we're in Mexico, but I don't care where you live. It's not ethical. Stop it. You are performing the unauthorized practice of law. No. So that's how Safe in Baja also differs. Like, we're referring you to the professionals that people trust and people know and are legit, right? Because obviously you don't want to just go to anybody who's going to screw up your thing. And it's not that you can't do the paperwork yourself, but getting the appointment and like not having to worry about it. It's not that much money. Just pay somebody, for the love of God. Okay, so anyway, that's my rant about like legal advice on Facebook. No. So that takes care of all of those problems, like moving over here, right? So this is not what Safe in Baja is about. I'm kind of like realizing, since this is a creative process, this project. It's more about what happens when you get here. How do you get gas? How do you get water? What's going on in town? How can you integrate faster with the local community? Even if you don't speak Spanish, people here are very patient. It's a tourism town. People want to learn English more than you want to learn Spanish, actually. If it comes right down to it, the locals want to learn English more than you're motivated to learn Spanish, for some of us. And like, I'm hitting the 4-year mark where I'm going into my permanent residency, and it's like embarrassing that I don't know more Spanish, but people here are very gracious and very patient. Okay. Poco y poco. Necesito más practicar mi español. And I can't conjugate, which is part of my problem. I like need a tutor at this point, probably. But anyway, I digress. So I just keep thinking about like Safe in Baja and the project. And as you can tell, I'm doing this in the Safe in Baja page. I'm not putting this out on my normal Facebook for like metrics or whatever the fuddy. Like, this video doesn't even count for that. But I'll download it and put it on YouTube or something. I need like a social media person now to do all that, because I'm just generating too much footage and it's a lot of editing. But anyway, yeah, once you get here, what do you do? Where do you go? Who do you know? How do you meet people? Like, I was asking the guy I was taking on the tour about his wife. What is she like? You know, oh, she loves animals. Okay, great. She's going to have a never-ending job with the dogs here. Right? Like, oh, she'll be so busy if that's her thing. And be careful, because you might end up with 20 dogs. This is why I can't do the dog thing, because I'm like, I have 2 matching dogs. They're both white. Listo. I'm not taking on Not taking on mismatched dogs. That's horrible, right? But like Los Adoptable, I told him about Los Adoptables in Punta Banda. They have like an event, they have a thrift shop, they have, and that is something that someone can get involved in and integrate into right away with a group of people. Hi, instant group of people, instead of being alone by yourself for 6 months trying to friggin' figure it out when you first move here. I moved here as a single solo woman, knowing no one. I came here 3 times before, so I met some cool people. Aaron and Kenya, shout out, Mailbox Express, definitely that. And I took this guy to Mailbox Express, and he met Jorge, and he left and said, oh, that was invaluable for you to take me to Mailbox Express and introduce me. I'm like, I know, that's why we went there. I didn't say that. Like, I was hoping you would say that. So, and I was telling him, like, one time when I first moved here, I was on the side of the road crying because you can get very disoriented when you first move here, which I'll digress, but that's kind of what the tour turned into. Hopefully I don't forget that point later, but so I took them there and I was like, oh yeah, one time I had to go there when I was on the side of the road, like crying because I could not figure out how to get somewhere. And they helped me, It was like the one person or place I knew in town when I was having a mental breakdown in the first 3 months that I lived here. And I went to Mailbox Express, and they were so nice. And they were like, okay, this is where you go, right? And also more recently, what did they do for me? Oh, I needed my new phone. Let's not talk about how many times I've lost my phone. But I know exactly what to do if you lose your phone. So if you don't know, hit me up because it's by experience. All I can say is you better have insurance on your very expensive American phone. If you don't have insurance, you're screwed. You're screwed. Because you're not going to find it. They won't even turn your phone back on. They'll just strip it for parts or do whatever they do. Because I have like the Samsung location thing. The cab driver took it, and he knew he had it. Another client didn't take it. He was a pendejo, which I don't expect from people in Ensenada, actually, because most people are, and then did I know what cab driver? So anyway, I did not get my phone back, and Mailbox Express got me my phone in my hand from like delivery to in my hand within 4 days, and they knew that I really, really needed it. Because of the work that I do. Like, I have backups, but what happened? I think I missed a court hearing on Monday after I lost my phone because I also had technical problems on top of it. So even with the backup, it was like an issue. And so I really needed my phone very quickly. So all I can say, this is about Mailbox Express. Like, they got Jorge, shout out, and Aaron and Kenya got me my phone like really fast. So this is the bridge between having a mailing address, not a P.O. box in the United States, and getting your stuff here. So you can still be an Amazon addict if you want to, but no, don't do it. I'm trying not to be. But there are some things that you cannot get here that you can only get on Amazon. But there is Mexico Amazon, which is also very good. If you miss that delivery, they'll come back. But what I would suggest buying on Amazon is a doorbell. Because otherwise the doorbell is yelling at you or a dog barking or And if you don't have a Mexican number, some companies, they just won't dial an American number. WhatsApp or no WhatsApp. So yeah, I'm just babbling on about stuff. But the point being, this is all the shit that people are on a very steep learning curve to learn when you first move here. The learning curve is beep, free fall. And I asked the person that I took around today, what do you think your knowledge is on a scale of 1 to 10 about Mexico or about the culture? Never mind learning Spanish, but just familiarity. And he was 2. But that's not even the determining factor if you move here. The determining factor is your attitude. And like, he has the attitude. Well, and the person that is already like 4 years retired and his wife is still working, and he's like, andale, let's go. And no, we're not moving to Georgia. So no, because you're still in the United States and you can't get well where you got sick. People have shit happen to them for like various reasons. And like, just Mexico is magic. There's various reasons why people live here, but I think, or move here, but, and I was telling him too, like, I don't think people should move here to run away from something. Why? Because that's a fear-based vibe. I didn't tell him that, but I'm thinking of that now. Yeah, if you're running away because of a fear-based vibe, then that's not going to work for you in Mexico. Or it's going to, like, it's shady, right? But if you're moving here to reinvent yourself, or being a better version of yourself, or healing, or going through some kind of metamorphosis, or that's not fear-based, though. And so there's nothing wrong with coming here and becoming a new person. And I actually think that Mexico has the ability to facilitate that for a lot of people, including me. And I haven't talked about that at all, like the process, and maybe I will at some point. But like, from leaving all your stuff behind and deciding what to bring or not bring, to like disentangling yourself from the United States. It's a very like high anxiety vibe. Just culturally, they have you wired for fucking anxiety. Even if you don't have any trauma, you have anxiety living in the United States. And so that's why when you move to Mexico, tranquilo and cálmate is such a thing. And why Mexicans are like, woo, but it's like almost ingrained, and I had to be very intentional about unwiring that and being aware, like, because people in Mexico are not going to put up with that, depending on what level of it, wiring you got from the United States. And I think that's what I mean about like reinventing yourself in a way. You're going to have to reprogram yourself, or you're going to be in a little enclave in your little bubble. And I mean, if that's what you want to do, great. But I just don't see the point in being here if that's what you're going to do. But to each their own, whatever. Those are not my people, as we all well know. I mean, when you first get here, you want to be cautious or whatever, but that's the other point of safe in Baja, is to like, acclimate people faster and make them feel safer faster, because information is power, but it needs to be accurate. And how do you know? Where's the way in? Where's the way into that info? It's not me, it's safe in Baja. Like, that's the concept. How do you get in and feel more comfortable, more safe, with more information, faster once you move here? The other stuff is logistics. There's a referral for that. Go talk to the other people. This other part, what service does that look like? It's a concierge, I guess, but like, I have another full-time job. So I just do what I do, and I show people what I do, and if people like it, they like it, or at least they get comfortable with like, oh, okay, this is what it's really like to live there. I'm not going out of my way to make TikToks and do like, I don't have that much energy. I mean, I know I have a lot of energy, but I don't have that much energy. So this is a ranting, rambling video that I never really, my street is so loud. That's the only thing about my street. Not that I'm complaining. I would never complain. Not complaining. But I think that's like the point. And as the project goes on, like, this is how it develops, right? I would have never thought about this had I not ran that guy around today. And I like doing it. I think it's interesting. I love Baja. I love Ensenada. We're in a cove. It's very protected. I think it's very safe. I think Ensenada's growing. I don't have any like end game. It's just kind of wherever it goes, you know, but I also don't want to be the only one doing it. I want other people to share their experiences. I got new mics, which I should be using for this whole rant right now. Oh, I'm going to have to go get these after that. I'm so excited about that. But, yeah, I think that's the point. And for us, and that we're in one community. This isn't about foreign residents. I'm going to start using, okay, I really should have my microphones on for this and shut the windows because it's so loud. But really, I don't like the term expat. And I got murdered online last time I brought this up by Ensenada Expat Facebook page. I don't care. I got kicked out of that group. Whatever. Don't care. Obviously, since I'm doing I just made my own thing. Like, I don't care. If I can't come to your table, I'm gonna fucking set my own. Whatever. No, I'm not bitter, but anyway, I don't care. The thing is like, I suggested we change the name, and I was called disrespectful to the founders of the page for suggesting that we change. Hi, Jack. I should say hi to people. I'm so sorry. I'm like rambling. Hi. I don't know how many people are watching. 2 people, but hello, everybody that has come on and left or whatever. But like, I don't like the term expat. And I don't care if anybody's listening, because I'm just going to download it on YouTube and double caption it and put it out that way. But I don't have that much room on my phone for this. But anyway, like, I don't like that term, expat. I think it's like an entitled, but you can't use immigrant either. And I think this is a debate. Maybe we should have expat versus immigrant. But people also have opinions about immigrant. What time is it? Alexa, what time is it?
It's 3:01 p.m.
I'm supposed to be meeting somebody for lunch across the street. So let me finish this up. Maybe Debbie's watching the live. Hi, Angel. Hi, Tanya. Hello, El Rosario Baja Pelicano. Oh, they're watching. Hi, Tina. Are you guys watching? I really can't tell, actually. Alfredo, Antonio. So I'm just babbling on about. Hi, Jack. Hi, Robin. Hi, Haiti. Hi, Lupita. I'm just babbling on about, like, immigrant versus expat situation. I mean, I don't like either. People have a problem with both. One's, like, entitled. The other one is people that, you know, are in some serious situations where their life is at risk and they're trying to get the fuck out. And, yeah, they're heading towards the U.S. But, like, hello. Like, they're in survival mode. Why wouldn't you do that? So I can't use immigrant either. It's almost disrespectful. But expat's like entitled. So it's very, I think I'm just going to start saying like foreign resident. You're a foreign resident. There's the Mexican national locals who, you know, we're a guest in your country. Thank you for allowing us to live here. Numero uno. The numero uno rule. I could just go on and on and on about this. But like attitude adjustment is also part of the safe in Baja thing. No, you are a guest in Mexico. Respect the culture, respect the people, and respect the laws. What's going on over there is not relevant. Don't say, well, no, shut STFU. Shut the fuck up about that because it's not relevant. The only thing relevant is what's in Mexico because that's where you're going to want to live. So don't bring up the whole like United States thing. The distraction. Why? Because you don't want to take responsibility and be responsible for the country that you're moving to. So you want to bring up some other bullshit? Oh, hell no. There's a lot of things I could say that I don't. And that's like one of them. And that's mild. So maybe I should start like talking more. People seem to like to be yelled at lately. I've noticed online. Like, I never knew I needed to be yelled at so much. I've watched some videos. Like, yeah, kind of. So no, irrelevant. Come here legally if you can. I understand people can't come here legally. Okay, I get it, but you know, come here legally if you can. I mean, the number's really high. It's like almost doubled since I came in. And okay, whatever. But you're here. Respect the people. Support the local economy. Don't be a jerk, which is my number one rule for joining Safe in Baja. Don't be a jerk. And you respect the people that live here first. I could say some other stuff, but I'm not going to get into politics. Like, I don't know how you can respect the culture if you don't support the culture. Maybe I'll put it that way. You know what I mean. But, you know, this is the MO of gaslighting, so what do you expect? Like, that's it in a freaking nutshell. Is, yeah, how, but this is the whole problem that we're not going to fix, right? So, whatever. I'm not getting into semantics. We don't have mutual reality is really what's going on. If you want to, the one thing I'm going to say about what's going on in the United States is it's not even political. No. Bottom line, and this is the only thing, wow, it's so loud. I need to shut the windows. And then there's just some other kind of thing going on back there. I don't even know what that event is. But I'm going to say this one thing. It's not even about politics. That's done. Like, we're way past that. So there's no point in having any conversation about that, actually. Like, it's a moot issue. The problem is that we no longer have mutual reality. Mutual reality. Okay? That is what's happening. You have half the country in one reality and the other half of the country in a different reality. And I'm not going to say who's right or who's wrong or blah, 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 because each party is thoroughly convinced that the other party's fucked, right? This is what's happening. So why? No. We don't have mutual reality. And in order to deal with that, you just have to decide who's going to be in your reality and who's not going to be in your reality and call it a day. And that's it. And you don't get into it with people and you don't harbor grudges. And we're in Mexico. Like, there's also a reason why we're here. Because, no, we don't want to be fully immersed in it. But you can't bury your head in the sand. And the other thing is you don't want to be so, like, into it that your vibe drops. And that you're just, like, on the same level, but in a different way because you're so angry about everything. You can't do that either because then you're just contributing to that shit. So it's kind of a balance between protecting your mental health and not operating in a low vibe because you're so upset about what's going on over there. Because we have to contribute high vibe. That's really the only way to combat that at this point, since we don't have mutual reality. You have to stay in your reality and you have to stay high vibe and contribute to that and do what you can. Contribute to a cause, do some volunteer, I don't know, whatever the hell you got to do to, like, do your part to resist. Or just get up and decide to have a good day and feel good. That'd probably be good enough at this juncture. So that's what I have to say about that. Take care of you. You do you. You need to protect your mental health. You need to do whatever. But don't bury your head in the sand with toxic positivity and just be like, oh, it doesn't involve me. Because, yeah, it does involve you because you exist on the planet. That's it. But we don't have to, like, compromise our mental health either. So we don't have mutual reality. You have to pick and choose, and you have to take care of yourself. And that's about all we can do at this point. And if you want to get out, if you want to get out of the United States, come to the page, sign up for the page, see what's going on down here, see if it's your vibe, you know, DM me. And I hope everybody's having a great day. That's my rant for the day. I've never really actually done that before. And my friend is over at Containers, and she just DM'd me and is like, where are you? So I have to go. Okay.